Welcome back to the channel. Well, if you're new to the channel, it's Crawlspace Encounters. We do inspections. This is a new homeowner. They started noticing some musky smell in the house. They've already went through all their inspections. They moved in probably about a few months ago, and they can't get this musky smell out of their nose, they said. So they kind of want me to check things out. Of course, I'm going to take a dive in the Crawlspace because I usually find most things happen in the crawl space. Inside this region where we're at here in the upstate of South Carolina, we have a lot of crawl space homes, and man, a lot of problems. If you look at my other videos, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. But like I said, if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is Rich, and and if you're back to see more, let's see what we can find. All right, let's take a dive in. All right, well, let's see what we got. And of course, as usual, I just want to take a little step back and kind of take a video of the entrance. But I also want to grab my flashlight and make sure there is no unwanted critters I don't feel like seeing. Not so much the snakes, it's more like the possums. Even cats can get pretty nasty down here when you never corner a cat. But let's check her out, man. Smells a little musky. So this is a crawl space home. So they basically have a brick foundation. And then they build these knee walls. I call them a knee wall. They plywood the outside and they throw their vinyl siding up against it. You know what? I know a lot of people say you don't need to have a lot of tie downs here. There's just nothing ever tied down here. We have had some little F2 tornadoes, F1 tornadoes come by. These houses are not going to stand any kind of wind whatsoever. I mean, I've framed houses down in Florida for many years. Everything was a continuous tie down. For example, this bottom plate is not anchored down to anything. Hey guy, this bottom plate is not anchored down to anything. And then this 2x6 isn't anchored to this, which would be a continuous. This 2x6 isn't anchored to the top plate, and neither are these floor joists. So if anything were to ever happen with a nice windstorm, this is probably just all gonna blow over, and I'll leave it there to you. But there's no codes down here with anchoring down. You don't see any metal down here, any anchors. Oh wow, look at this. Well, this might explain it. Look at the size of that roach right there. Look at that guy. Alright, so this is probably where that musky smell is coming from. This is a chimney. So you can see, alright, so you can see the plywood from the out. This is the outside plywood, and then they throw the vinyl siding right over it. Let me get this spider web out of here. Wow, I got a lot of roaches. Look at that guy. The roaches love moisture, especially those big suckers. That is the American cockroach, the palmetto roach, the water bug, or the damn bug that needs to die, whatever you want to call it. I don't like them. They're nasty. But this right here is a problem. You can see the vinyl siding. Look at that. The plywood has rotted. They use that wonderful OSB board, the particle board, and it's just rotting, and it's probably what's causing the smell. They probably did not flash the upstairs correctly, which, surprise, surprise, and water trickled its way down and started causing all this shenanigans. This is exactly where probably that musky smell is coming from. That sucks. And you know what? They had a home inspection done. That is horrible, man. That is so bad. I'm going to take a moisture reading on this just to see if it's maybe something active. It's definitely wet. 21.5% moisture readings. That wouldn't pass inspection. There's no way. In this case, you're going to rip out that vinyl siding. Well, number one, fix the water leak. Rip out that vinyl siding. Get some new plywood up against there. But it all starts with fixing the water leak. Let's move on a little bit here. Look at that. Some more water leaks. Once again, man, I don't get it. How does this pass a home inspection? These people are young, new home, first-time home buyers. And this is what happens. I could tell you probably what happened is these people hired a realtor, and the realtor knew of some shady inspector that just said everything looks good. I cannot tell you how many times here in this area I see that happening. That is crazy. Absolutely crazy. We have some copper pipes here. Got a little bit of mineral deposit on there. I don't see any active leaks. Guys, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. I appreciate that. Nice snake skin hanging down. Check her out. It's a little guy. We might get lucky and find one down here. See that? Just they use 2x6 for that wall out there, and they use 2x4 for this wall over here. But once again, there's just absolutely zero tie down. They throw that plastic covering over it, and that moisture tie back. There's a tie back. Sorry, it always feels like I'm live streaming because I don't do much editing to my videos. What you see is what you get. You're gonna cruise the crawl spaces with me. I don't cut things out. So when I screw up and say something, feel free to go in the comments and say, "Hey Rich, yeah, that's not right." Because it's pretty busy down here. Insulation falling down. Now, one of the biggest things that I notice about these types of floor joists, these engineered floor joists, is they use these metal wires to secure them. These hangers right here. See these hangers right here to secure insulation when it comes to the floor joist. But with these kind of joists, there's not a lot of areas for those hangers to hang on to. So they fall down very easy. And you can tell that this one right there, you can see that? That's snake poop. So snake was probably cruising around on the insulation, and then the weight of the snake just dropped the insulation down. Same thing happened over here. You might come across the fella, but as soon as they hear of me down here cruising around, they'll hide back in the insulation. Another snake skin right over there. So definitely some water comes in during periods of rain. That's why there was a sump pump down there at the bottom of the crawl space. We obviously know where that musky smell is coming from. It's that rotting plywood. You know, I'm gonna take a guess that that's the reason. On top of that, you can also see that Crawlspace does take on some water, but my gamble is going to be that where that fireplace frame out is. Now you got me curious to see if I can find me the snake today. Every time I get in a Crawlspace and I don't bring my camera with me, I find a snake. And then by the time I go grab my camera, I'm like, all right, let's video this house. The snake is gone. So you got to kind of catch him in the act. This house has been drilled out for termites. You can see the holes up on the block. So this I'm looking at right here, this block wall is the garage portion of the house. That is all garage. So you got your garage there, and then this is your crawl space. Very small crawl space. Not a lot going on here besides all that rot. That is not good. I always say I can't believe an inspector didn't see that. Stevie Wonder would have found that. I don't think that the inspector probably even crawled down here. And you can see I'm not even crawling, I'm actually standing up, which is rare. But this is actually a nice crawl space. To do any kind of work, you gotta come down here, do any kind of work. Man, I'd keep this nice and dry. I'd actually put a dehumidification system in there, close off all these vents. And you can store things down here. You keep it conditioned with a dehumidifier. You can store some stuff, man. Maybe build like a deck. Keep things off the plastic itself. Frame like a platform down here. Use it for storage. Look at all the storage. God, it's like you can never need. Look at this. I'm trying to see. I gotta take moisture readings of this because, man, this is not good, man. Back to what I was saying, you could always use more storage. That's why people around here is always building sheds and all kinds of stuff. But let's take a moisture reading right here because this isn't where the chimney is. 19.7, that might not be an active water leak. 20%. It might all be part of it. But you can see this might have been fixed before. You can see that this siding right here is different from this siding, this little ripper. So either they ran out of wood. Now it looks like they did replace this whole one piece. And then it rotted again. That's crazy. Huh. A lot of spider webs down here. Just by the looks of that, man, it just doesn't look like somebody's been down here in a while. More insulation falling down. Yeah. These, I tell you, these huge bats, man, very heavy. That's what I'm saying. These hangers, they're, look what they're grabbing onto there. They're barely grabbing on to some wood. Like I said, you get a snake up in here, a chipmunk, whatever the case may be. Put a little weight on this, and there goes the insulation. I've been in these crawl spaces where they have these kind of floor joists. And man, almost all the insulation's on the ground. See here, so they did have some metal coming off the brick foundation, and then they just stuck a nail in it. And here's another one right here. But it doesn't make any sense, because a proper anchoring system is a continuous anchoring system. So even if this bottom plate didn't get blown away from wind or whatever, these studs aren't connected to this bottom plate at all. Yeah, maybe through the plywood nailed down here at the bottom plate, but you can see some of these nails, we called them shiners back in the day. They didn't even grab the stud itself, so you have to have a continuous strapping to make this one solid piece to create to help with any kind of uplift when it comes to wind. And like I said, we've had some tornadic activity here before, so it's not like we're not going to have any more. Definitely have some black widows hanging around here. The sump pump, got a Zoller pump, pretty cool. I'm a fan. Those guys, those pumps, they do good. They put a check valve here, and it's working. Looks like it had a little water in there at one time. So the drain system seems to be doing what it's supposed to be doing. If you're not going to have a dehumidifier down here, I definitely open up those vents all the way to get some airflow. Got this little camel cricket there. But anyway, this is the this is the story behind this crawl space. We're gonna let the homeowner know what's going on, and let them figure out what they're gonna do. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know what's going on. Check out my other videos if you're new to the channel. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate y'all. I'll see you soon.